So Stefon Diggs, he was right. Stefon Diggs was completely right out of this whole sham that the Vikings organization is. And this is my game review. This is my game recap because that was the initial thought after I slept on the game. That was the first thing I woke up and I was just thinking about the Vikings. Big picture. Stefon Diggs was right. He was completely right. He was right about Mike Zimmer. He was especially right about Kirk Cousins, who are two people I will be going into full detail with two videos coming out later on this week. But this is my game recap. From the Cowboys-Vikings game, from Cooper Rush embarrassing Mike Zimmer in front of his home crowd, from Kirk Cousins getting absolutely locked up by a Dallas Cowboy defense who is a good defense but is nowhere near great. They were embarrassed last night, both of them. And hey, congrats to you, Diggs. You got out early. You saw the writings on the wall. You realize this team is playing football still like it's 1955. And you were right. This is my game review, game recap, game reaction to the Vikings-Cowboys meltdown that happened on Sunday Night Football on Halloween. Let's get into it. The game last night was probably, just as a Vikings fan, I can say this is what I'm going to be speaking for right now, one of the most embarrassing games I think I've watched in a while. This was a game, the whole week, honestly, the past 2 weeks, I was looking forward to this game more than any Viking game I can really remember for a regular season, big primetime game. I was thinking like, God, we got the 5-1 Cowboys coming in. It's Halloween, one of my most favorite holidays, and the Vikings have a chance to kind of prove themselves as one of the better teams in the NFL and in the NFC if they would get a win against a very powerful, good Cowboy team, and they did the complete opposite. They completely were a letdown. They completely went stale on offense, and that's what I'm going to be getting into first. On my reaction to the Vikings' offensive performance last night. Holy shit. When you think a team can't amaze you more by how basic they can be, the Vikings just shock me. I am shocked with the game plan that they rolled out there last night. The Vikings, it almost seems like they were almost trying to get creative last night, but it's like their creative plays are so vanilla and so boring that if the defense is just engaged and they like to fly around on defense, the trick play doesn't really matter. You're not full. I swear to God, the amount of times they would hit CJ Ham, Madison, or Thielen or Jefferson right on the line of scrimmage was incredible. They had no opportunity, or they took no chances to push the ball downfield last night. It was just the most vanilla offensive game plan I've seen out of Clint Kubiak this year. Sticking with the offense, I will start with number 8, because that was probably his worst game as a Viking, and I think his terrible performance is getting overshadowed by Mike Zimmer needing to be fired. And I agree with that, and I'll get to him later on this week, and I was wrong about Zimmer. You can go to my channel. I said you should wait up on Zimmer because I thought he was going to turn around. God, was I wrong, but holy crap. Number 8, Kirk Cousins, your terrible, embarrassing performance last night is getting overshadowed, and it won't be talked about, but I'll have a video coming out because we need to talk about that. Kirk Cousins is not a leader of men. He's not a leader in the locker room. He's just not. I'm sorry if you say he is, and you go and look at mic'd up and everything, you can just tell he's not a leader. He's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. He's a good guy. He's somebody you would want your daughter to date. That is not what I'm saying. As a leader of 53 alpha males in a locker room, Kirk Cousins might be dead last on that list because he has no command. He has no alphaness to him, which is what you need in an NFL quarterback. I'm not saying everybody in life needs to be an alpha male. That's not what I'm saying at all. But my quarterback for my football team does. He was checking the ball down all night. And the thing that drives me crazy, football, it's a sport we kind of grow up watching, we grow up playing in our backyard. We're throwing around with our buddies, you're throwing around with your dad. You may be playing Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving, you're running around and everything's off script. When everything is off script and the play is not perfectly set up, Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. He's not even a serviceable quarterback in my opinion. You can't win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. You can't. Because in the playoffs, they take away a couple things you like, and then a lot of it is off script, and you'll see how you go. The Cowboys did that yesterday. The Cowboys pretty much said, we're going to be aggressive in our defensive game plan, and it's going to pretty much, I mean, it was almost like they didn't really like have a game plan besides we're going to hit hard and be aggressive, and the Vikings are going to fold over. And it's like the Vikings offense, like there's not nobody in that huddle being like, we need to move the, like, okay. Also, the running game. Just stop. You're not a good running offense. Like, they're not. Like, yeah, the numbers may lead. It may show that the Vikings can run the ball. But for having Cook and Madison, and they cannot run the ball on a... listen, they can run the ball on the Lions. They can run the ball on the Panthers. They can run the ball on those teams. But when a good team comes in and they say, we're taking away the run, when was the last time you've seen the Vikings win a big-time game running the football? And we're supposed to be a running offense. I'm serious, because the Titans, who's a real running offense, they do that shit all the time. They do it all the time. I mean, the only one I could think about is maybe the Saints playoff game, but then again, Cook had like 20 yards rushing in the second half. I think this is a problem on the head coach and quarterback mainly. If there was a pie chart of blame to give right now, it would be 50-50 Kirk Cousins, Mike Zimmer. And I think that's 100% the right answer. There's nobody else to blame. In the NFL, I swear to God, you look at the best teams in the league right now. Please do. Look at their coach and quarterback. The Bills, Sean McDermott, Josh Allen. Phenomenal. I mean, the Bengals, Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor. I mean, those guys kind of came out of nowhere, but they look like... Burrow looks phenomenal. Cowboys. I mean, yes, Mike McCarthy is not the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I'll probably put on Kellen Moore, but Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, take both them over Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins. Rodgers and LaFleur, great coach, great quarterback. Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury, great coach, great quarterback. Stafford and the Rams, Stafford and McVay, great coach, great quarterback. And finally the Buccaneers, great coach, great quarterback. That's what wins games in the NFL. That's when, in a big-time game, when shit's not going your way, and you have a great quarterback, and it's not even just the plays he makes, it's the mentality the team has. If you look at that guy and you see Tom Brady in your huddle, you're going to go make a play. However, if you see Kirk Cousins in the huddle, it's just different. It's just different. It's different body language. It's different. It's just... everything is different about Kirk. And I'm going to say one last thing about Kirk Cousins, and then I will get into Zimmer and Kirk later on this week. After the game, Kirk Cousins came up to Cooper Rush, and he was ecstatic for him. And I'm sorry, but that pissed me the hell off. Kirk walked up to him. He was like, hey, man, that was a great moment for you. Like, good job, all that stuff. Like, you know, Kirk being a good guy he is. Kirk, you just got effing embarrassed on Sunday Night Football against a backup quarterback, and you got the nerve to, I mean, yes, go shake his hand and be like, hey, good game, and walk away. Show good sports. I'm not saying you walk off the field, but it's just the way, it's just the body language, it's just the way he is. He's not a leader. You got 53 alpha males in a football locker room, and he's the one that he needs to be the leader. Because, hey, listen, you're not going to win a Super Bowl without your quarterback being the leader. Shocking news. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. You're not. You're not. And the Vikings don't have a good leader. They don't have a good quarterback. They don't have a good head coach. Hey, 53-man roster, they're stacked. They got Justin Jefferson. They got Dalvin Cook. They got Daniil Hunter. They got Harrison Smith. They're a good damn roster. When the coach and quarterback suck, the team sucks. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Videos coming out all week. Skol Vikes. Purple Pain, baby.